Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today I have something very exciting and very unique, and that is a side-by-side trim comparison of the all-new 2024 Santa Fe in the SEL, XRT, and limited trim levels. Now, I created a very similar video to this last year for the 2023 Palisade, and it ended up being quite popular and very helpful, so I thought this is a very unique opportunity early in the 2024 model year to create this video for you guys. Now, I think all three of these trim levels are going to be very popular, sell quite well within the lineup, but do have some key differences that are worth noting and kind of running through to help narrow down your search if you're interested in this all-new Santa Fe. So the SEL is more of a good value budget trim level, one step up from the base entry-level trim. Gives you a lot of nice features and options for the money, but does stay just under the $40,000 price point, including all-wheel drive if you find one without many accessories. Now, moving over to the XRT, of course, we know this one is the more off-road capable of the bunch, is based upon the SEL trim level with a few additional options and features, and comes in the low $42,000 price point or so. Now, finally, moving up to the top limited, or I shouldn't say the top, but one step above the XRT, and that is the limited trim level. This is where you start to find many of the luxury amenities offered in the Santa Fe lineup, including heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, power folding side mirrors, memory seats, premium audio system. The list really goes on. It's a big step up in equipment from the XRT and comes in about the $47,000 price point with all-wheel drive. Now, if you're looking for front-wheel drive versions, you can get that in the SEL and the limited. Unfortunately, the XRT is only available with all-wheel drive, and all three of these behind me are all-wheel drive variants. So it is going to be even in that regard, but let's go ahead and not waste some more time. Go ahead and walk through each of these trims behind me, show you the high-level differences as well as the exact feature differences will be listed up on the screen via a screenshot, or I have more information down in the description below if you want to look in a little bit more detail and spend a little bit more time with it. Now, first I want to start with the exterior color palette available across all three of these trim levels. Now, starting out on the right, this is the SEL finished in Phantom Black. We have the XRT finished in the Rockwood Green Pearl, and then finally the limited down there is finished in Shimmering Silver. Now, if you're looking at an SEL, this will not have the full exterior color palette available, as you cannot get either of the two matte paint colors, and there is one additional regular color that you cannot get as well. And if you're looking at an XRT or a limited, that unlocks the full color potential or full color palette in terms of both matte exterior paints and then that one other one that is not available here with the SEL. Now, in turn, looking at the interior color palette, the SEL comes in both a black and gray H-Tex interior. The XRT only comes with a black H-Tex. And finally, the limited down there comes with three different leather interiors, black, gray, as well as pecan brown. The black and gray is available with any exterior, but the pecan brown down there on the limited is only found, I believe, on about 4 or 5 exterior colors, not the entire palette. So about half of the exterior colors can be had with the brown leather. Now, with that information out of the way, let's go ahead and start with the SEL. Now, this one is all-wheel drive, and if you find one without any additional accessories, it will come in at just under the $40,000 mark, but most of them out there will probably be $40,000 and a couple $100. Now, this one is a great value trim level, like I mentioned. Every Santa Fe for this refresh or all new generation will come with the full LED exterior lighting for LED projector headlights, daytime running lights, and turn signals. Front and rear parking sensors are found across the board. And as you can see, the SEL comes with the more bright chrome trim here in the middle section with the light bar that will illuminate when the headlights are enabled or when the running lights are turned on. You have the active aero flaps on the front bumper and some of the other aerodynamic treatments to help with overall aerodynamics and fuel efficiency. Coming around to the side, you'll find the matte black plastic trim on all three of these vehicles. If you're looking for the gloss black cladding on the lower section, you will have to step up to the top calligraphy, which I do have a dedicated video here on the channel covering that vehicle or trim level in a little bit more detail. Now, as far as the wheels and tires go, these are going to be the SE and SEL wheel finished in the gloss black and machine finish. So these are going to be identical with the lower two trims, wrapped in 235, 60, 18-inch Goodyear Assurance Finesse all-season tires. You do get body color mirror caps with your LED turn signal integration. They are going to be heated, and it does have blind spot detection. You have Hyundai Digital Key 2.0 on this trim level, so all three of these vehicles will have that. The SEL also gives you the roof rails up top. So again, all three of these trims will have that as far as a feature goes if you're looking for additional accessories up top. and you will not find the grab handle on the C-pillar like I will showcase on the XRT with the SEL or the Limited that is found on the XRT and the top calligraphy. So that's kind of a high-level exterior look. As you can see, all of the lighting elements out back will be the same on all three of these vehicles, but some of the other trim portions are where some of the key differences come in, especially once you step up to the Limited or calligraphy down there. Now, I do want to take a look on the inside really quick. Again, this is a very high level view. If you want a more detailed look, I do have dedicated videos here on the channel for all three of these Santa Fe's. Now this one is the gray H-Tex interior, so you have a light gray accent with a dark gray around some of the rest of the interior plastics. Really nice materials, all soft touch through here on the SEL. You do gain a power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar. There's the H-Tex perforated leatherette. And there's a quick look at the dashboard. In terms of some of the high-level differences for the technology, starting it up, you do get the digital display here for the cluster, but it's going to be the more basic design on the SEL as well as the XRT with the small 4.2-inch display in the center, and then your fixed digital elements on the left and right-hand side respectively. This one does not have built-in navigation for the infotainment system, so it does still have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. No built-in navigation, so you do not have highway drive assist functionality, but you still have smart or adaptive cruise control, the eye tracking, forward attention assist function, and your touchscreen climate controls down here with heated front seats. So a lot of this functionality will be very similar, but as we get up to the Limited, that's where a lot of the additional features and options really do come in. No sunroof is going to be found on the SEL and cannot be had for the 2024 model year. That will be found on the XRT and Limited in slightly different configurations. And taking a look at the back, all of the materials here on the door panel will follow through. You do get the bench seating on all three of these vehicles, so unfortunately that one is down, but we'll take a look at some of the other ones. So all three of these vehicles will have the same passenger configuration. If you do want the captain chairs in the second row, that is only found on the top calligraphy in either the gas or the hybrid variants. USB-C charging on the backs of the seats, the same pull-out storage console down there. There's the bi-directional center console, which is a cool feature. And yeah, like I said, third row seating is standard on every Santa Fe, so same 50-50 split folding back here. You do gain the AC vents on the SEL and higher with the controls on the passenger side over there. You can see the little on-off with the fan speed integration. No USB-C charging ports back here. But you can see some of the lighter gray accents plastics do continue on with this interior color choice. So that's going to be a very quick look at the SEL trim. Let's go ahead and step into the XRT. Now moving over here to the XRT, once again, this is finished in the Rockwood Green exterior. And with the XRT, there actually are several unique appearance differences in addition to those mechanical changes. So as far as the mechanical changes go, it's got a 1-inch suspension lift with larger 30-inch diameter all-terrain tires for a total increased ground clearance of around 1.3 inches over this vehicle right here. So pretty substantial. It does include some other smaller differences, like I said, the grab handles out back and some cosmetic differences up front. So you still have the overall same front fascia with the LED projector headlights, daytime running lights, and turn signals. You can see you do get the chrome or darkened chrome accent here for the center grille portion, much like that of the Limited as well. There's the matte black or satin black Hyundai logos on the front and backs of the vehicle. And the XRT also does gain this additional cooling capability in the front of the bumper there with those little slits that are not found on this SEL over here and are also not found on the Limited or calligraphy to my knowledge. Now that could be due to the additional cooling needs for the increased towing capacity. This vehicle will tow 4,500 pounds, which is the only trim level in the Santa Fe lineup to tow 4,500 pounds, as the Limited and all the other 2.5 liter turbos are limited to 3,500 pounds, so additional 1,000 pounds of towing here. So that could be the cooling needs for that vehicle. But you can see at the bottom of the front bumper, there is some darkened gray trim, which appears to be the exact same as the SEL and the Limited over there. So really not too much differences, just those minor differences, which to me definitely do change the exterior appearance quite a bit. Now taking a look at the side, like I mentioned, the matte black trim is still there. You do get the same exact alloy wheel design, finished in entirely gloss black. So instead of the machine finish over here or the two-tone effect, it will be entirely gloss black with the larger 30-inch all-terrain tire. They are 245, 60, 18-inch Continental Terrain Contact AT all-terrains. Same exact gloss black mirrors as you can see between the two vehicles right here. You do get the single power sunroof at the top with the XRT, so just the front passengers will have the sunroof versus the dual sunroofs over there on the Limited, which we will showcase here in a second. The XRT also comes with the integrated C-pillar assist handles, so these are grab handles which you can lock on the inside of the door jamb if you want to keep them closed all the time, but easier access to the roof or any items up there. I know you can simply grab this if you want. It's pretty sturdy up there, but that is just another grab point if you need it. And then coming out back, the lighting situation is again the same as the SEL. You do gain the additional black badging, which contrasts very nicely depending on the exterior color you do get. And I don't really see any exact trim differences as far as the black plastics at the bottom. So those are gonna be the exact same between each of these two. Now taking a look on the interior, like I said, this is the black H-Tex. This is the only one available on the XRT, so I guess this is a good side-by-side comparison between the gray in this one and the black in this one, as they will be identical in terms of all the materials on the door panel. Still get the power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar. There is the black H-Tex. The one unique aspect is the XRT here in the backrest. And there's a quick look at the dashboard. Now stepping inside the XRT, in terms of most of the features and technology in this one, it's going to be identical to that of the SEL. So in front of the driver, you have the fully digital but partially configurable display. So the exact same one as the SEL, 4.2-inch display in the center with your fixed digital elements on the left and right hand side. You still have the leather-wrapped steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, lane follow assist, etc. The only changes to the technology in driver assistance is the fact that this one has built-in navigation here on the infotainment screen, which enables Highway Drive Assist 1. So slightly more advanced driver safety systems on the interstate or on those longer road trips. So if you're looking for that functionality, you do have to get an XRT or higher in the Santa Fe lineup. But outside of that, you still have the dual zone automatic climate control up front with heated front seats, four-wheel drive lock. You have the climate controls for the third row seating out back, which I will showcase here in a second. There's your wireless charging pad, of course. And there is another button here on the left of the steering wheel that is your dedicated tow haul mode, which is the only Santa Fe, to my knowledge, to feature a dedicated tow haul mode. I will have to double check that, but I believe the XRT is the only one that gets that. And that is a configurable option here in the center display. So if you go into setup, vehicle, drive mode, I believe, you can actually configure right here the tow mode via that button and basically change between lightweight, medium weight, and heavyweight. And I'm sure that changes the transmission shift point, some of the throttle response, and other aspects of the vehicle depending on the weight that is selected. So that's a little cool small item there that you can do on the XRT that I don't believe is found on any other trim. And of course, the XRT does give you the smaller single power sunroof here for first row occupants. That's not on the SEL trim. So looking for a sunroof, you do have to get the XRT. Taking a quick look out back. Once again, materials and all that will fall through from the front. Bench seating configuration. There's a better look at the bench seats. It does have the power release at the top as well as the bottom down there. There's the USB-C charging, same storage situation as the SEL with the bi-directional glove box. And yeah, that is pretty much gonna do it as far as that goes. I'll take you back to the third row or show you the cargo area. And one other unique aspect the XRT and higher gets, in addition to the climate control knob out back in the third row, is the 110 volt, 150 watt power outlet you do get over that of the SEL. So that is pretty much going to be it as far as most of the main feature and option differences here of the XRT. Now let's move into the Limited, and this is actually the first time I've seen the Limited trim level in person, and I actually do quite like it. So as you can see there, walking by, the power folding mirrors do unfold when you are in close proximity to the vehicle. But the Limited in specific comes in right around the $47,000 price point. It does have a lot of different features and options that you're gaining over these two vehicles right there. So it is a massive step up, not only in terms of, I guess, price point in some regards, about $5,000 more than this one right here, but you are getting a ton more feature option and just overall vehicle content that cannot be had on the lower trims. So starting at the front end of the Limited, as you can see, it does have the full LED lighting setup as standard on every Santa Fe. You still retain the darkened chrome accents for the center grille and the headlamp bezels. Gives it a much more aggressive kind of premium look in my opinion. Color match lower bumper here, but you'll see at the corners of the bumpers, there is some additional satin chrome trim that runs along the entire bottom assembly just to give it a slightly more upscale and premium look. So that's going to be your main difference at the front looking at it. There might be a few more gloss black elements as far as the front grille here with the radar cruise control sensor down there versus this XRT, which appears to be matte black plastic. So you will have a couple small gloss black trim pieces that are going to give it a more premium look at the front end as well. And there is the standard satin chrome Hyundai emblem that is found on most of the trim levels outside of the XRT, and I believe some of the calligraphies have the black as well. Now coming around here to the side of the vehicle, I do want to point this out. You do get front, side, and rear parking sensors with the Limited or calligraphy versus only the front and rear over here on these two. You can see it is missing here on the side, and that is due to the remote smart park assist functionality and some of the other more advanced features in that regard. So a little bit more advanced parking sensor setup here on the Limited. And another big aspect is going to be the wheel and tire setup. This is going to be a 20-inch Limited specific alloy wheel with a machined dark gunmetal insert versus the 18-inch wheel on the other trims that we have showcased thus far. Entirely different look, matches really well here with the silver exterior and the satin chrome on the lower door section. And in terms of a tire size, this is going to be a 255 45 20-inch Pirelli Scorpion MS all-season tire. So mud and snow, I assume that would mean that. Pretty good all-season tire as far as I'm aware. Coming to the mirror caps, you're going to have body color mirror caps. Still have the gloss black accents here on the A and the front pillar here. But you do gain the cameras on the bottom for the 360 surround view camera system. Still no puddle lights, unfortunately. They are going to be power folding, like I mentioned, and they are going to be heated with your blind spot detection. Still have the same digital key 2.0, so you can use Android or iOS compatible devices on all three of these vehicles. And you can see coming to the back, you do not have the C-pillar assist panels, but you still do have the roof rails up top. Same LED lighting setup at the back with your tail lamps, turn signals, secondary tail lamps and turn signals, and your reverse lights all the way at the bottom. Now, one other unique aspect about this particular unit sitting in front of us is the fact it does have the port installed hitch, which I believe is just under $500 from the factory, if you will, because it is located on the window sticker. So pretty cool to see that on this one. I'll go ahead and have to zoom in on that and give you guys a little bit closer shot of that. But this vehicle can tow 3,500 pounds as equipped versus the 4,500 pounds here on the XRT. So you can get it from the factory, obviously with the hitch. They are producing those vehicles. And a couple other small trim differences I'm noticing is the portion around the tailgate handle is gloss black versus the matte black on the other two Santa Fe's over there. And that chrome or satin chrome trim does wrap into the parking sensors here for the rear bumper. That is not found on those two vehicles over there. So not a huge difference in the overall exterior appearance on the Limited, but certainly a much more premium type of feel, in my opinion, with the larger wheels and tires and some of the other accents. Now, taking a look on the interior, this particular one does have the black leather interior, but like I said, black, gray, and brown is going to be available depending on the paint that you do choose. Now, looking here on the door panel, looks like most of the materials are going to be very, very similar. This is going to be the difference in terms of this is a like high metallic silver chrome with a slightly different wood grain accent in the middle. You do get the memory seats for the driver position. Same window controls, but you do have the power folding mirrors, it looks like. Premium audio system by Bose, and the rest of the door panel looks very similar. There's the power driver seat with 4-way power lumbar instead of just 2 the other ones. And yeah, you can immediately tell this is going to be a genuine leather seating surface versus the H-Techs. given the slightly different texture on the seats themselves and the different perforation accents. So yeah, definitely looks very nice and just a little bit more premium than that of the SEL and XRT. Now anyways, let's go ahead and start it up. And this is the very first time I've actually been inside the Limited. I haven't made the dedicated walk around video quite yet. And yes, there's a lot more feature content inside of this one versus the other one. So immediately in front of the driver, you're gonna see the fully digital and fully configurable gauge cluster that is an upgrade versus the SEL and XRT. So this entire thing can be somewhat configured via the infotainment system and the steering wheel controls. Overall, it looks very nice. It just gives it a nicer appearance, and I actually do like the color contrast and the overall brightness a little bit better versus those particular Santa Fe's, which can get a little bit washed out depending on which portion you're looking at in direct sunlight. Now another thing you might notice is over here to the left of the steering wheel, that is actually a fingerprint scanner. Yes, this vehicle has fingerprint recognition. First for Hyundai here in the United States. I'm sure this feature will actually roll out to other models over the coming years as well, but that can be tied to your driver profiles and some of the other vehicle settings, which is very cool. Across the dashboard, you have the same kind of darker gray wood accent that is found on the door panels. Same leather wrap steering wheel. It is going to be heated here in the Limited. Highway drive assist, smart cruise control, lane follow assist, etc. You do gain the rain sensing wipers on this one in addition to some of the other features. As you can see, no dedicated tow haul mode on the Limited, I assume again due to the slightly lower towing capacity. Then coming over here to the infotainment system, this is going to be the same as the XRT with built-in navigation. However, it does add some of the additional camera views from the 360 surround view camera system. So putting it in reverse, you can see immediately you have the high resolution main camera, which you can configure, and then you have the bird's eye view with the 360 system. Just want to showcase that really quick. Below that, all your hard touch buttons for the infotainment are still there. Dual zone automatic climate, but immediately you can see you do get heated and ventilated front seats via this touchscreen display. There's your heated steering wheel. It is a 2-stage heated steering wheel. And there's your front and rear climate controls, which are identical to the other two Santa Fe's. There's some of your quick shortcut buttons. This looks identical as well. You do have the ability to pull up the 360 camera system, and then if you press and hold that camera system button, it will activate the parking assist functionality, which will essentially help you use the remote smart park assist function if you're in need of that to get in and out of a parking situation. There's your wireless charging pad. The Limited does get the UVC sanitation compartment, which is located in the upper glove box here. UVC warning label, which it is, so you guys can pause that and read that if you can actually see it on the screen there, but I'm sure it's just warning you and telling you exactly how to use that compartment to sanitize certain materials or devices. Looks like everything else here in the center console area is going to be identical. I don't see any additional USB ports down below. The headliner is going to be Limited specific. It is a heathered soft touch material, and the pillars themselves are actually going to be soft touch. You can see the alloy Bose tweeter system up here. Much nicer than that of the other trims. There's the LED overhead lighting, auto dimming interior mirror. It does have garage home link on the bottom. There's the LED overhead lighting with your front and rear. So we'll go ahead and open the front. Same exact size as the XRT. But you can see it does also give you the dual pane sunroof with a fixed pane of glass out back with a power retractable shade. So if you're looking for the dual sunroofs, then this is going to be the entry level or cheapest trim that you can get that on. And the front shade, of course, is going to be the same manual fashion. But that piece of glass, I'll go ahead and leave that shade open, is quite large for second row occupants. So that's kind of like a high level overview of what the Limited will give you here in this particular trim level versus that of the other Santa Fe's. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look in the second row because I'm curious about back here as well. Materials are going to follow through from the front. You do gain the rear side shades, which are a manual retractable function, as well as 3-stage heated outboard seats. So that is very cool that Hyundai's made that a 3-stage functionality and are still offering heated second row seats on their vehicles. It is still going to be the bench seat configuration, so you do not get captain chairs in the Limited. I know that's something that people out there do want. Hyundai may or may not offer that in the future. There's going to be a quick look at the dashboard. Still have the USB-C charging on the front seats. There's the pull-out drawer, as well as the map pockets and stuff like that, AC vents. All of this is very, very similar, but immediately you can see just how large that pane of glass is. I mean, it is absolutely huge. Starts just in front of the second row and goes all the way behind the second row into the start of the third row. But yeah, I guess not too much of a difference here. I will say the seating materials certainly do make a difference on how the actual seats feel. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the third row amenities real quick. So you have the same exact third row setup. You do gain USB-C charging in the third row with the limited and calligraphy trims. You still have the AC vents on the left and right hand side. You can see the power outlet down there is still there, as well as the on and off rear AC controls. So it looks like there is an additional speaker up here for the Bose audio as well. But outside of that, really not a huge difference in terms of amenities for third row occupants. Now I do want to pop the trunk really quick on the limited just to see if I notice anything additionally. Looks like the subwoofer is over here on the left-hand side for the Bose audio. Still have the 12-volt outlet. And then you still have the second row power release folding function buttons up there. And it looks like there is not any major difference on the underfloor side. This does have a 2-inch receiver with a 3,500 pound towing capacity. You can see the 7-pin harness is actually on the right side of the trailering hitch versus the Palisades over there, which is found on the left side. So a little bit of a difference there. And in terms of spare tire, you still have the temporary spare tire located on the underside of the vehicle. It's not a full-size spare, but all three of these vehicles do have the same temporary spare tire setup. And then here on the limited trims, also you do gain the power passenger seat. No power lumbar, unfortunately, but you do get the nice power adjustments for a little bit of additional comfort and adjustability here on the interior. Ambient lighting here. Looks like you do have a little storage cubby up here by the dashboard vent, and still do have the LED illumination in the glove box. So looks like that's gonna pretty much do it as far as a quick high-level overview of the SEL, XRT, and limited trim levels. Let me know down in the comment section below which one you think is the better deal, or which one you would purchase out of all three of these, now that you know a little bit more about them side by side. And again, make sure to check out the dedicated videos I have on either of these trims, or all three of these trims, I should say, here on the channel, where I go in detail, show you about all of the features and options that is equipped on it, and again, give you just a little bit more information. Now, one of the big changes for 2024 was the fact that Hyundai made the 2.5-liter turbo with the 8-speed wet dual clutch as standard equipment across every single gas Santa Fe. So from the base SE all the way up to the top limited or calligraphy, you'll find the exact same powertrain configuration, which puts out 277 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque through that 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive configurations. Remember, the XRT only comes with all-wheel drive, but the rest of the lineup can be had in both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. And the hybrid powertrain from the previous generation is also getting carryover for 2024 in an SEL, limited, and calligraphy trim, which is actually new for the hybrid variant of the Santa Fe. So if you're looking for a hybrid or a gasoline only, Hyundai has you covered with either of those two options available. So that's gonna do it here for this quick walk around side-by-side comparison of the all-new 2024 Santa Fe in the SEL, XRT, and limited trim levels. Let me know which one you guys would pick it down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed it or found this helpful, make sure to hit that like button. It certainly helps out these videos in the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to check out additional content I have here on the Santa Fe, including a test drive review and comparison between the 2023 and 2024 Santa Fe, giving you my likes and dislikes, if you will, upon how each vehicle drives. So yeah, pretty much let me know which one you guys would pick down in the comment section below. And as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.